You are 32 years old, and you are fine. That is the word you use when people ask. Fine. The job is fine. The apartment is fine. The car needs work, but it runs. You have enough in your checking account to cover the month and a little left over, and you tell yourself that the investing thing is something you will start when things settle down a little, when you have more room. When the timing is better, the timing has never been better. It has also never felt worse. Both of those things have been true every year for the last decade, and you have not noticed yet that they will keep being true until something changes or until you run out of years. You do not start. You are 35 and something small has shifted. A coworker mentions offhand that she has been putting money into an index fund for 6 years. Nothing dramatic. $100 a month. She says it the way people say things. They assume everyone already knows. You nod like you know. You do not know. After she walks away, you do the math on your phone, and the number that comes back sits in your stomach for the rest of the afternoon. 6 years at $100 a month at average market returns. The number is not life-changing, but it is not nothing either. It is a year of rent. It is a car. It is options that you do not currently have. You think about starting that evening. You download an app. You create an account. You get distracted before you finish setting it up, and you close the app and you tell yourself you will come back to it. You do not come back to it. You are 39 and your back hurts in a way that did not exist at 30. Nothing serious. Just the particular tiredness of a body that has been doing the same things in the same way for long enough that it has started to register its objections. You are not old. You just feel slightly used in a way you did not expect to feel yet. Your company offers a retirement match. They have offered it for 11 years. You have been meaning to enroll. The form is not complicated. It takes about 8 minutes. You have not taken the 8 minutes. A colleague who started the same year you did mentions he is thinking about buying a house. You ask how. He talks about his savings, his retirement account, the match he has been taking for 11 years. The conversation moves on. You move with it. But something in you does a quiet calculation. And the result of that calculation is not a number. It is a feeling. Something between embarrassment and something older and harder to name. You do not fill out the form that week. You fill it out 3 months later. Finally, on a Tuesday afternoon when nothing else particular is happening, you enroll at 3% because that feels manageable. The match requires 5 to get the full benefit. You tell yourself you will increase it later. You do not increase it for 2 years. You are 43, and your parents are getting older in a way that is no longer abstract. Your father had a scare last spring. Nothing catastrophic, but the kind of thing that reorganizes how you think about time. You flew home for a week. You sat in a hospital waiting room, and you looked around at your family and you thought about what would happen if something happened, and you realized that you did not have a clear answer. Not because you are irresponsible, because you never built the thing that would give you the answer. The cushion that absorbs the unexpected, the account that does not panic when the phone rings at 2 in the morning. You covered your expenses for the week you were home. It was tight. You put some of it on a card. You told yourself it was a one-time thing. You were starting to understand that life does not have one-time things. It has categories of things that happen at unpredictable intervals, and the only preparation that works is the kind you build before you need it. You knew this. You have always known this. Knowing it and doing something about it are not the same thing, and you are 43 years old, and the distance between those two things is starting to feel very specific. You are 47, and the math has become unavoidable. Not because someone sat you down, because you started doing it yourself, in quiet moments on the train, before you fall asleep, in the car outside the grocery store. If you had started at 25 with $100 a month at average market returns, you would have something substantial by now. Something that changes the texture of your decisions. Something that means the job is a choice and not a requirement. You did not start at 25. If you had started at 32 when you first told yourself you would start when things settled down, you would still have something meaningful. Less than 25, but still real. Still useful. Still the kind of number that gives you options. You did not start at 32 either. You started at 39 with 3% of your salary and increased it to 5 2 years later, and the account exists and it is growing. But the early years are gone. The years when the math works most powerfully. The years when $100 had the most time to become something else. Those years happened. You were in them. You spent them on other things, not extravagant things. Just the ordinary costs of a life being lived without a plan underneath it. You do not say any of this out loud. You just carry it in the quiet moments and try not to add up the number too precisely, because the precise number is harder to sit with than the approximate one. You are 51, and your daughter is applying to colleges. You saved some money for this. Not enough. You saved what you could when you remembered to, and the amount reflects that. She gets into a school she wants to attend, and the financial aid package arrives, and you spend an evening with a calculator and a piece of paper, and by the end of the evening, you have a plan that works. But the plan involves debt, and the debt will take years, and the years are something you are starting to think about differently than you used to. You do not regret your daughter. You do not regret anything about her. But you sit with the calculator and you think about what a different set of decisions 15 years ago would have meant for this evening. And the thought is not catastrophic. It is just present. Just there. The way a door that is slightly ajar lets in a little cold without making itself a problem. You close the calculator. You sign the paperwork. You move forward the way you always have, which is forward, with what you have, which is enough to manage, but not enough to be easy. You are 56, and retirement is no longer a distant concept. It is a question that people ask you at dinner parties. When are you thinking about retiring? And you give an answer that sounds considered, because you have practiced giving it, but the answer is softer than it sounds. You are hoping 65. You are aware that 65 depends on things being consistent for 9 more years. And consistency at this age has a different weight than it did at 35. Your back is worse. Not badly. The particular presence of a body that has been asked to perform reliably for a long time and is beginning to negotiate the terms. You look at your retirement account. It is not nothing. It is genuinely not nothing. But it is also not the number that would let you stop without thinking carefully about every subsequent decision. It is the number of someone who started late and has been consistent since starting and is going to be fine in a particular narrow sense of that word. Fine, the same word from 32. Still accurate. Still the same distance from comfortable. You are 63 and you have done the math. Not approximately, precisely. You have sat with a financial planner in a beige office with a plant in the corner and gone through the numbers in the specific way that produces a specific answer. The answer is that you can retire at 67 if nothing changes. You can retire at 65 if you increase your contributions significantly for the next 2 years and the market cooperates and nothing unexpected happens. Nothing unexpected always happens. You are probably working until 67. Maybe 68. You are okay with this, in the way that you have become okay with many things. Not happily, not bitterly, just practically. It is the number. The number is what it is. You will work the years and then you will stop, and what you have will be what you have. The financial planner asks if you have any questions. You have one question, but you do not ask it, because the answer would not change anything. The question is what the number would have been if you had started at 25. With $100 a month, with nothing heroic. Just $100 on the first of every month for 40 years. You know the answer approximately. You have calculated it in the quiet moments. The number is not a fortune. It is not a number that would have made you rich, but it is a number that would have changed 63. That would have made the conversation in the beige office different. That would have meant 65 was comfortable instead of conditional. $100 a month. The cost of a dinner out. The cost of a streaming subscription you forgot you had. The cost of things you spent without deciding to spend them because they were small enough to disappear. $100 a month for 40 years at average market returns. The number you do not say out loud in the beige office. You are not 63 yet. That is the only point. You are wherever you are right now reading this, and 63 is still somewhere ahead of you, and the distance between here and there is the only thing that matters, because the math only works in one direction. You do not need a lot. You do not need to understand the market. You do not need to wait until things settle down, because things do not settle down. Things are always approximately this complicated and approximately this uncertain, and the people who built something did not build it because the timing was right. They built it because they started before the timing felt right and kept going $100 a month, not when things settle down. Now, the 63-year-old version of you is not in the room yet.